So for all of you that weren't at the required 9:30 or 10:15 meeting this morning, I'm going to record a short video to talk about what we discussed in the morning meeting. So if you guys would look at your Blackboard course, some information for you here to look at kind of like our new format. Make sure that you read this in its entirety so you have an understanding of what our class is going to. One of the things that you really need to pay attention to is the updated syllabus. So there's 3 things in here that you need to look at. And your syllabus is located on that syllabus and course calendar tab. So the syllabus, if you go into that, it has our lecture meetings. I'm going to post your online lectures, and we are going to try and meet every Wednesday at 9:30 to 10:50. We're going to start at 9:30, and we may not go that full time. We're going to use that as a question and answer session for the next couple of chapters that we're going through, because they are a little bit more difficult content than what we've done so far. The other things that we're going to do is for attendance. I'm going to take attendance every Friday of the week from now on, and this is how I'm going to do the attendance. There's either 3 options: present, late, or absent. If you're present, that means you've logged into Blackboard within the past 7 days and completed all work that's required on time. If you're counted late, then you've logged in but have not completed all the work. And absent is if you have not logged in and not completed any of the work. My new contact information is pretty much the same. I mean, obviously you guys can still contact me through email. I would not recommend calling me on the phone at my office. I do not go to my office on a regular basis. So that is not the place to try and get a hold of me. Another method, if you're wanting to get a hold of me pretty much ASAP, is I have set up a conversation or chat group in Google Hangouts. And you can get to that through your computer using the Google app when you're logged into Gmail, or you can download the app onto your smartphone, and you'll use this link to join the conversation. The other thing that you want to look at is the change in schedule. So pretty much after spring break is all you're wanting to look at. Obviously, last week we were closed due to the campus being closed. But starting Monday, we're starting Module 3. And these are not specific due dates. This is a guideline for when I want you to try and work on these particular pieces of content in our class. So Monday, I would have liked for you to look over Chapter 7, and by today, I would like you to finish and submit the learning guide and quiz. However, I say that this is the date I would like for you to try and do it. I did not put the due date in Blackboard until the day before the exam for that chapter. So there's a little bit of leeway. But I would recommend that you not wait until the last day to submit that assignment. Try and go along this schedule. The next thing we'll move to is Chapter 8 and then Chapter 9. And then I'm going to open up Exam 3. And Exam 3 probably a few days before April 13th, and I'll let it go a few days after April 13th. Then we're going to, once you complete Exam 3, you can move to Module 4, and Module 4 only has 2 chapters, Chapter 10 and Chapter 11. The only thing different about 7 through 11 that 10 has is there is an actual project that is also due. So please make sure that you pay attention to that. So if you're wanting to find out where all of these things are, go back to your course, and then go to those modules. So Module 3 and Module 4 are pretty much all you're going to be using. So each module has units, and the units are numbered based on the chapter number. So Chapter 7 is Unit 7. So if you click on Chapter 7, it'll bring up all the material that you will need to complete all the assignments in that unit. So obviously you'll have your lecture. Right now I only have your PowerPoint lecture posted and your chapter from your textbook posted. I will submit the link for the lecture here in just a little bit. For Chapter 7, the Learning Guide, this is something new that you guys are being required to do. And the Learning Guide you can download here. When you download it, it is in a Word document file. And so you need to submit that back in Blackboard. And anything that's orange that has a line under it is something that you would submit something back to me with, or take a quiz with, like in a little exam or quiz. So if we actually clicked this button, the Chapter 7 Learning Guide, this would take us to the assignment itself. And the assignment would look something like this. So you have the due date listed and the points that are available for that. You can also even download the document here again. But how do you complete this? You'll download the document. Now you can complete the assignment in a couple of different ways. Given that we are kind of in a weird situation, I'm going to be really flexible with how this works. So one way you could do it is you could work within the Word document on your computer and type in your answers. It might be a good idea to make your answers a different font or font size, or bold it or make it a different color so that I can easily identify your answers compared to the questions that I put in. There are times when I ask you to draw things that might make it a little difficult, but if you wanted to draw something on a piece of paper, take a picture of it, and then import it into that document, that would work perfect. The other option you have is to print the document out and write by hand your answers in between all of the questions and statements and all that kind of stuff. I will say that I did not set up the document for that, and so you might have to put some extra space in between the questions to give you some space to do that. The one thing that I wouldn't be able personally to do this option because I don't have a printer. So if you're someone that doesn't have a printer, then that might not be the right thing for you to do. But if you do, go right for it. The other option is you could just write the answers to each of your questions on your own paper. And so just on a piece of notebook paper, write question 1, and then you write your answers, and then you'll go to question 2 and write your answers, and so forth and so on. Now, if you do option 2 and 3, neither one of those are digital. So you're going to have to figure out a way to make that kind of document now that you have in paper, in hard copy, into digital form. So there's a couple of different ways you can do that. You can use your phone and literally take a picture of each page and then upload the pictures in the assignment. To upload them, you would go to attach file and browse my computer, and you can attach multiple documents all at one time. Make sure that you do all of them at the same time, because once you submit something, there's no going back. You can't submit something after that. And I pretty much have information on how you do all of those things here. If you did a Word document or print out or your own paper, how do you submit those things? The only thing that you might have issues with is how to make that, a document a digital document. I would recommend you guys paying attention, especially if you have an iPhone, if you're taking pictures. Some new iPhones have this weird ending to their pictures, and it's HEIC. I don't know that I can see those on Blackboard, so you might want to convert them to JPEGs or something like that before you submit them. Now, once you browse your computer and you find a file or whatever that you're going to upload, then you'll click open, and then you'll click submit down here. And once you do that, your your document will submit for you. And that's pretty much kind of the new pieces of equipment or assignments that you're going to be doing for this rest of the semester. Now, you still have practice module exams, so you'll still have a practice module 3 and a practice module 4 for you to practice on before you take the real deal. I'm going to put a tab up above the practice module that just says lecture exams, and your exam 3, 4, and your final will go into that module or into that location or tab. Let's see. None of the exams that you will take from the rest of this semester, exams 3, 4, and the final, will be proctored. They will be timed, however, but you can use your resources, just like it says here on these practice exams. You can use your textbook, notes, quizzes, and other class materials to help, but you may not use other people. So make sure that people are not with you while you're working on that, and please don't make copies of the exam anywhere. That's pretty much all I have to inform you guys about. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to email or go to the Google Hangout and sign up for that. I have a few students that have signed up for that, and it'd be really nice if you guys would all do so that we could keep in touch. In the meantime, anyone that was not at the required meeting, I do need you to email me to explain why you did not show up. And it's okay if you didn't, but I need to know what your situation is. So if you could please email me at abarrett@angelina.edu, I would greatly appreciate that.